Story, because you had early onset Parkinson's at what, was it 27?
I was diagnosed in 2003, and I was only 27 years old at the time.
And you kind of hit it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, the problem with Parkinson's is there's a shame factor to that, and I lived it. So in the beginning, I hid it from everybody, including my wife. I didn't tell her for the first 3 or 4 months of my diagnosis. And it wasn't until I needed to take medication, I had to tell her because she's going to wonder, why are you taking medication?
Right.
But we continued to hide that from my even immediate families and close friends for another year or so before we even told them.
And it brought you down into a pretty serious depression.
Yeah, for the first 8 years, I did absolutely nothing. My wife would describe it as the dark years, and credit to her, I don't know how she stuck around because it was pretty bad.
Well, you had a hard time walking, too. You said your balance was off, so you couldn't necessarily walk straight.
Yeah, I was walking with a cane. I weighed 240 pounds. So I kind of let everything just kind of overtake my body, and I let the disease run its course.
And then you started slow. You started walking around the yard. You started kind of saying to yourself, hey, no, I can do something about this.
Yeah, it actually started when I fell down the stairs with my son.
Ooh.
Oh. He was 10 months old, and I carried him, and I figured, you know what, I've got the railing, I'll leave my cane on the top. The worst thing I've ever done, right? So I fell down the stairs with him. I kept him above my body. But that was the moment that made me really take a deep, hard look at myself. What am I doing?
Yeah.
So I decided to get myself educated. And one thing I noticed is that physical activity keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Right.
So I started to walk around the block. And then when I built confidence, I left the cane at home and started walking without it. And then I started jogging, and I started running. And then next thing you know, I'm running, you know, I signed up for my first 5K in 2012.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And the Michael J. Fox helped you get into your first marathon, right?
Yes.
Foundation.
And so in 2012, when I finished my first half marathon in September, I knew right away I wanted to run a marathon, which was only a month later. And when I called, that's when I founded Michael J. Fox Foundation. I'm thinking, we're a month away, everybody's sold out, maybe they don't have any. They said, we've got one.
Wow.
And to this day, I've always felt that was meant for me.
Because you were the one. You were the one.
And how many marathons have you run since?
So since 2012, I've completed 15 marathons.
Wow. That's amazing.
Oh, my God.
One ultra
Oh, my
marathon. And 103 half marathons.
That is incredible.
Two of my uncles had Parkinson's, severe Parkinson's, and one of my uncles, when he danced, it went away.
Absolutely.
Is that something that you find is consistent when you're running? Does the Parkinson's subside a little bit?
You know what? People think Parkinson's, you're losing your movement. But you know what? A lot of times, that ability to move is still there. You just got to find how to unlock it. For some people, it's running. Some people, it's dancing. It's boxing for others. Cycling, swimming. I mean, you name it. Gardening. You know, just finding things that you enjoy doing.
Hobbies.
Absolutely.
Let your mind go.
Yeah.
Let your mind go. Exactly.
Now, did your daughter help inspire you to do American Ninja Warrior?
She did. She did. She loves the show. When she was 6 years old, she would climb on furniture.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And she just watched the show religiously, and every year the show came on, she goes, Dad, why don't you get on? I'm like, I got Parkinson's, right? And then when I started running more and more, she goes, you're fit, why don't you get on the next year? I was like, no, I don't have the upper body strength. I gave her all the excuses in the book. And then when Allison came on in 2016, even before her story was finished running, they mentioned Parkinson's. She turned around and said, what's your excuse?
Right.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay. So
sometimes we need kids to set us straight, right?
Absolutely.
Kids are honest.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. So from that moment on, I was like, you know what? They've done the story. I don't think they're going to do another story on Parkinson's again. So just to shut her up, I'm going to apply. Right? So I made the video, and I filled out the application, and I sent it in. And I'm like, let's forget about it. They're never going to call. And then 5 weeks before we were to compete, I get the call.
Wow.
So I'm talking to the producer on the phone. He's like, yeah, you're competing in 5 weeks.
Oh,
I'm like,
gosh.
I better start training.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But what's great, the ninja community, they all stepped up. I was always known at the gyms as Karina's dad.
Yeah.
She was 8th in the nation last year.
Yeah.
In her age group.
Yes.
So she taught me a lot of the basics.
Yeah.
And I'm always learning from her.
And she's